well, well. Look who it is. You said you weren't gonna come back. You say that every time, and yet we keep meeting like this every time. It can't keep happening. Alright, it can, universe. Good to see ya. How are you doing today? Hopefully good. I am very tired. I stay up too late. And then I have really bad dreams because I'm really stressed, and then I wake up too early. And I'm tired basically all the time. And it is an ever-repeating cycle of self-concitude. Stream today is almost certainly not going to be very long. I may stream later if I'm feeling better, but we're gonna just play it by ear for now. I wasn't planning on doing Factorio basically all this week, but it's the thing that feels most like simple to do, I guess. So that's what we're doing. Factory game, so true. True and frankly quite insightful of you to say. I think I'm actually gonna upgrade the power plants. Maybe, is it necessary at this stage? It's kind of irritating me a little bit. It's not necessary. But I just kind of want to have these down. They're not going to work if we plug them in, though, is the thing. I'm getting rid of this ghost for now, just because I'm tired of seeing it flash. I will save a blueprint of this one, though. Alright, so the plan that I was putting earlier, I wish I put my train stops down lower. That's what I'm currently thinking, but actually it wouldn't really, no, it would suck to fix. We're not going to fix it then. We're instead going to work with what we have and improve our furnace stacks. I don't know how many of these we can stack downwards before we start seeing diminishing returns on them. This is also a very inefficient line looking at it. So step one is going to be putting down a few of these storage chests. I forgot we automated those. I'm gonna put them down there. We have a request for 5 more, so they're not going to be too bad. And I'm going to cut off the iron. Let it process and move through what it has. Should have cut it off further down the line, but so it goes. The glorious stress of having no more iron in your base temporarily while you fix everything. Right side is we could slam this iron right back into furnaces once we're good to go. We're going to move the whole furnace stack down and left a little bit, and then just expand it downwards to start. There's a whole extra line of stuff we could be taking advantage of over there that we're not. We also need to improve our steel. I wonder how much steel we're going to meaningfully need. We could certainly cut the coal off of this side. Oh. It's no longer a necessity. We do want some coal going through the base because it's useful for other things, but for now, steel it shall be. And once the seal's done, we'll grab electric furnaces too. I made electric furnaces, right? did. They're in boxes as well. I'll make a request for like 20 of them. I don't really know how many I'm gonna need. It might actually be too low, but that's fine. We'll improvise with what's necessary. They'll always just give us more, it's just that we're not gonna have an obscene amount of them sitting around doing nothing. Oh, look at our little uncommon bot with its double power capacity and its craving for blood, which is unrelated to being uncommon. This is kind of what bots do. Holy cow, there's a lot of iron in here. I was thinking that was going to be a little bit more brain dead. Let me move these closer. Did I really just click to craft one of those? No, there's no way I did. It's the children that are wrong. Okay. Should be about good now. Smile. How much do you have in you? Okay, okay. Now we're good. So now I'm gonna take Bikini Bottom and move it somewhere else. Which will surely not have major consequences. At all. And that this is fine. There's no downside to what I'm doing. How far do we want to move it? Honest to goodness, I'm moving it down here. I'm putting it right in front of the iron. This gives us the luxury of, like, expandability. I'll put it over here, in fact. Now, we do need to make sure that we have a line of iron going up to here at some point. Not that it's that major of a deal. We can even just have it, like, go through here. Let's strip down this area as well. As prophesized, there would be a time where I just ripped up the whole base and remade a lot of it. This is going to be the start of it. Iron is the backbone of every factory. Much like the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. My roommate actually hates that and says it's not the case. I feel like I know a few people that I regularly interact with that say that the mitochondria is not the powerhouse of the cell, which really goes to show you what type of people I hang out with. True scholars who care about not spreading misinformation. Just like that, all of our iron's back in the furnaces. There shall be a little bit more we pick up here, but not a big deal. The deal size has been overstated ever so slightly, if anyone told you it was big. And if they didn't tell you it was big, congratulations, you've got a keeper on your hands because someone just told you the truth. Because it is not a big deal. I think these are my inputs. This one, and this one. Perfect. I know that it has no power right now, but we'll just fix that when the time comes. I haven't even like wired it back into the base yet. There's a large pipeline of water here, which I did not notice when putting this down, but that is no big deal. I will have to adjust it though. I know exactly where I'm going to put it too. It's going to look nice enough. You're going to put it right here, adjacent to the other undergrounds we have. Oh, they're much longer. I was hoping they'd be the same. I mean, I could do that, but that'd be just such a waste of pipes, but it might look kind of nice to do that. But it is a waste of pipes. But I am doing it. Because sometimes you gotta do it. I don't even know if I really like it to the point where it's like worth it, but I'm doing it, so consider that. Checkmate. And now I have an odd number of underground pipes again. Okay, so why is this an underground? I know why this is an underground. It's because it connected over here. Which is to say, great, we'll use that to connect it back in. The base will now be iron starved for a little bit, but better to do this now than later. In addition, we're going to completely dismantle our steel and remake that at the same time. I don't know the ratio of steel to not steel. Steel to iron, I guess, would be a more apt way to put it. Regardless, this setup will be much better, simply because it'll have better furnaces and a lot more space, too. I'm going to have the bots dismantle our steam engines as well when I'm doing this. I want to be very careful because I don't want to destroy too much relevant stuff. For example, is this water used by anything else? It's used over here. This water's not, though. So it should be sufficient to go down to here for now, and just have them remove all of that. This should also be removable, so I'll set that for removal. And I will just fix it in real time. Perfect. I do have to fix anything funky like this that gets broken. There you go. A nice open area we can expand in now whenever. I think we'll also... maybe we'll take advantage of that. I don't know. I'm trying to think about where to put steel. Steel could always go right here. I can also set steel just downwind. I could pave this area and use it for steel as well. I could also just put steel over here to the left. Maybe over to the left here, because there's so much space. And I'm going to put steel here, and then let copper be expanded out here. That sounds nice enough, at least. Okay. We've moved the iron successfully. We have a lot of space to expand, and I think that now is the time to strike whilst the iron is hot. I'm going to set up some expansion as well. I just need to make sure that we get a blueprint of it that isn't stinky. Let's see how this looks. This might not be the right one. This looks fine. We just didn't get enough of the other stuff, but that's fine. The one downside, or I guess a downside of this setup, is I'm not preparing for beacons with this, which means we'll have to redesign it later. I think the important thing right now is just getting it all set up. Funny how this load-bearing pole is now gone, so everything is awful. Going to also remove this robo port, or at least raise it upwards a little bit. I want to do a few more lines of processing. I'm willing to bet that with these lines I'm setting up now, specifically like this subsection of them, we're going to be how do I that's we're going to be suffering from not nearly enough ore throughput. But we can fix that with the logistics 3. Which is something we were planning on before, clearly. I apparently have turned on the factory, which was not the plan. I forgot that I reattached the power. Oh, but look at how nice our iron stacks look already. Okay, so we must do 2 things still. We have to reconnect the iron ore somehow, which we're going to just do up here, I believe. Then we need to reconnect the iron plates. Honestly, I'm almost tempted to set up a requester chest for this, but we're probably going to use way more concrete. Ooh, a full inventory. Oh, quaint. I don't know why I called it quaint. I don't know why I turned into like a 17th century noblewoman, but we're in that timeline now and I don't really think we can feasibly leave. It's a very awkward setup I did here. We're just going to redesign it really quickly. Specifically, like getting the iron ore onto this would be kind of a pain in the butt. We're just going to bring the bricks over here and then remake it here. It'd be really quick. Our walls haven't been attacked yet, but I am curious about how well they're going to hold up. I guess we can unplug this water altogether this way too and just plug it into the one to the north. It's even better. Something about house cleaning is always such a satisfying chore to do. Specifically, like, once you, like, finish it. When you're doing it, it's not as fun. I usually get distracted and start looking at a bunch of old stuff and, like, reminiscing. Once you really get into the nitty-gritty of it, it's, like, a pretty heckin' satisfying outcome. Alright, so we have the ore coming up here, so I'm going to just start using some undergrounds. And a few more of them. You know what? Actually, I'll do this because it'll look nice. Can it go off like this? Because if so, I'm gonna just leave like this because I think that's a perfectly valid way to do it. We'll see when it arrives. Kinda hate that though. It does work just fine like that. Perfect. I want to center it with that so it looks a little bit better. I'm having a tough time placing stuff today. I'm ready for bed. But Miko, you just woke up. Yeah, I know. When do we get to the ride? This is the ride. Oh, no, this is fine. Thought I did stinky design, but it's just like identical to what I had before functionally. I'm gonna put an extra red one here so it looks nice. Inefficient, but sometimes you gotta be inefficient to make your brain chemicals go woo. Alright, I'm gonna put concrete in here. I'm gonna just let this kind of rip as much concrete as it can. But we're making concrete again. I should start concreting the base at some point. I don't think there's a downside to it. I know there's downsides on Gleba and stuff now. I've never really concreted a base before, if I'm being candid with you. I do know, gosh, that's concrete, baby. So we are going to run with that. Beautiful concept. Why is the wiring here so jank? There is a large electric pole. It is apparently a very load-bearing pole. I don't know why that caught me off guard, but that was the pole. Trademarked. Holy. Okay, so the factory can be connected right here. Very easily. The factory is back on, so we want to get the iron several places. Some of which I want to put into steel. And as for how we're going to do that, I don't really know yet. I could always make more iron too. This is like, oh my goodness, there's a tree in the way. Like, man, it's so weird that some of these don't have like the I have made iron symbol on them. It means there's one more belt I'm missing somewhere. Great. Alright, so what I'm going to do is dedicate one full line of iron to doing steel for now. The other two are going to go back in the base. This may be an excess of iron as well, but it's easy enough to do this, so I'm going to do it. We're going to set up our steel now. I'm going to deconstruct a bunch of the wood here. Didn't realize so many bots were sleeping in this one. I guess it makes sense since we just set this up here. Our steel goes into the base here. Our iron goes into the base right here. We can always adjust this just fine. I could put steel in here, but I don't really like that idea. It's so limited by this, and I've already taken up a lot of space from the iron. So I think I'm going to set up the steel here instead, if that makes sense. It's a little redundant bringing it all the way up here and then back down. However, it has the luxury of, if I want to use it for something else, it is still up there and I don't need to turn the belts later on. Oh my god, the dead trees are killing me. It's ironic, because they're the dead ones. Oh yeah, our furnace stack is heckin' beautiful. Again, I should have designed it with beacons in mind, but I'm not really of that mindset right now. We're still on blue science, we'll deal with that later on. Okay, so I can actually just kind of like copy paste this. It should theoretically work just fine like that. So I am going to do so. The entire idea is that if I make something good enough the first time, it can be reused. I'm going to put it down here for now. And if we line it up, everything should be even better. So we do need a separate belt like that, though. Does this look good? Yeah, we have the inputs down there. Sure. You know what, though? I'm going to cut out this side, I think. I think we're going to stick with this size and then just scale this upward. I feel like I messed something up because the cables look weird. I guess that's just a consequence of this power cable here. Yeah, that's what it is. See, it's so nice when you have bots to do stuff. I guess I don't really need these electric furnaces on me anymore. I'll cancel my request for them. So, we're only going to have 2 iron inputs instead of having 3. Which is fairly simple, because we can just set up a splitter and then send it through. And now we're making steel again. Macking steel? I don't know if it'll reach the end of this, is the only issue. I may need these 2 dedicated belts. Once they start like all running, we'll be able to see how much we overshot it. If any of the back ones will ever see the light of day, which is looking unlikely but not impossible at the current state. I'm shocked that some of them are making them back as far as they can. Honestly, this is fine. It's almost certainly not perfect. But the fact that they've done as efficiently as they've done makes me feel like it's fine. It will eventually back up, which is a nice boon. We have 2 iron belts now. We will return to whence they came. I need to stop doing this before I know where I'm putting this through. I'm gonna build these backwards, actually. That sounds like a better idea. Currently we have the 1 input into the base. It's very unfortunate that I had coal go up here and then immediately split coal down. I think I'm gonna split it here. Heck. Why is that going that way? Did I put that one backwards and I just can't see it? That does seem to be the case. Okay. So that's where the iron's going in, so I'm actually just gonna rip it down here, I think. So this is the steel, and we will bring the steel backwards. I should have brought it down like 1 more. Catch me removing the load-bearing pole. That one's not actually load-bearing, though. Fooled you. You were a deep believer of the load-bearing pole of destiny. Dang, we have to go over that one barely. I like leaving my spaceship scrap, you got me. Okay, this is the steel belt. We still need to get 2 iron belts out, so we're going to do that now. We'll do those right here. Great. We will now do the fun part, which is connecting these belts, and then that. Wow, that is the saddest belt connection I've ever seen in my life. There we go. That's slightly better. We get to go connect the steel. I don't think we're producing nearly enough iron to supplement the steel right now. So I'm actually going to help it a little bit. In a very cheeky way. And that should at least help the throughput of the steel too when there's not much going on with the iron. I think once the steel belt like backs up, which it's already like, it's not going to take too long to do because we don't use steel that quickly right now. There will be a lot less demand. But even right now, like, these mines are all off. Like, it's already connected back into the system properly. We just have so much iron now, which is really nice. Although it's still a throughput issue. So wait, let's work on... How do we have... What? How could we possibly have 5 progress for Logistics 3? I don't have any purple science, nor have I ever made any. That's surprising. Very strange. Regardless, we have succeeded in our goal now. We have a new fancy furnace stack as well as a new steel furnace stack that is no longer coal dependent. I haven't scaled up our copper stack yet. I think I'm gonna just wait on that until it becomes like a necessity, which might be pretty soon. Those look really nice on the map at least. Very aesthetic. Other than this big square in the middle, but that's fine. Steel is surprisingly high in cost. I can call for removal of these. I'm glad I didn't expand it any higher. I think that this is fine, albeit a little bit excessive still. The steel is slowly but surely backing up. So let us... What do we want to do? So I want to move science, and I want to probably remake a few of the sciences, so maybe we'll do them in order. Or maybe we don't do that. I do want to move the sciences, specifically out to here, just so we have more space to load in a different direction. We can also chain load the sciences as well. That's not what my life's about right now. I really don't know how we got any Logistics 3 progress. I wonder if it's because I queued it up and there was like a productivity that was like about to pop or something, and it didn't check to see like, it was like, oh, you have excess productivity. Oh, I love science on belts. It's a yellow belt? It is a yellow belt. I should make a yellow belt upgrade planner and just slap it on the base at some point. That we have a little bit of freedom. We will move our science to a more appealing area that's a little bit less cramped. I think it'll be this little foresty area here. We'll have the science come downwards. That sounds good to me. We want to set up labs. Oh, I actually just got a really fun idea for setting up labs, which will allow for 8 science, which is not a satisfactory amount. But it does sound cool in my head. Technically, it can be scaled up to... I'm gonna set it up how my brain wants to, because it sounds fun. Because we're about to set up even more science, which is going to make it notably harder to beat our current thing. No, I'm so dumb. So I'm going to do some daisy chaining. Should be as simple as this for now. This said, we can always set up more chaining later. Kinda wishing we had substations too right now. Why did my cable go so dumb? I guess I placed it dumb. There we go, that looks better. These aren't doing anything. I really placed that so poorly. Oh, I hate how small these are. Wait, no, this just isn't plugged in. I don't think I placed it that poorly. There we go. So now, science will be efficiently picked up because we don't use it that quickly, and then chained all the way through. This gives us the luxury of chaining on the upper side, the lower side, right and left sides. I think I want to expand this out to 12 so it'll look nice, though. We could also make buffer chests of certain sciences. I don't think it's that necessary. But it is an idea that we can work with. I know my bots had good intention, but it really just killed my groove that they took this from me. They did literally nothing wrong, though, so I cannot fault them. Why can't I get this to line up the way I want to? It's because I placed the whatever the heck these are called. The electric pulls weird. It's like something's not right. I can't figure out what it is. That's one in between, yes. We need one in between to make this work. That's better. We will do boom, boom. There is like the slowdown of the long-handed needing to feed reds, but it's really not a slowdown. It legally is, but it's not meaningfully a slowdown. Okay, so I'm gonna set up purple, which is rails, electric furnaces, and productivity modules. The issue with this is really those productivity modules, and I guess to a lesser extent the furnace. Maybe they're equal. It's very heavy in advanced circuits, which just is very heavy in plastic. We're not struggling to make plastic. We can always take this crude oil and bring it back into our system. Maybe via a train or something, but it might just be easier to pipe it because it's not that complex. We do have a productivity module maker, but I don't think that that's going to be sufficient for our needs. See, this is the thing I'm facing now, is we have a lot of real estate taken up from a lot of things that aren't, like, quite the way I want them to be. But there's really no benefit to me making all of the sciences from scratch again, you know? I guess the benefit is that our red circuit production will be less buns. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to strip down our circuit production and remake it. Or, you know what, even better, I'm going to just make a new circuit production. Because if we look here, our circuit production goes to electric furnaces. And then down the line here for both blue science, which needs red circuits, and then our modules and bots with red circuits. We simply do not make enough red circuits, so I am going to set up a better circuit design somewhere around here. Just because this is kind of like free real estate now. This is a little down the line, so our belts might cause us problems for how little resources they can get to us. But let's figure out a ratio. So we need 2 electronic circuits to 1 advanced circuit. And it has a 6-second crafting time. Electronic circuits have a 0.5-second crafting time. So therefore, 2 electronic circuit makers... Actually, let's go with 1, because this would make 2 per second, which would make 12 over 6 seconds then. So one of them is enough to fuel 6 advanced circuit makers? There's no way that's right. It is right. My issue is that I didn't make enough copper crafty boys. And when you don't make enough copper crafty boys, you truly pay the price. Oh, I thought that... What am I doing? I'm destroying the base for no reason. Supplementary fix. So, how many copper makers is it to 1 green circuit maker? Because that's at the base of this all. This is just iron plate and copper cable. Well, it's 3 copper cable for a half a second. This makes 1 or 2 copper cables every half second. So 1.5 copper cable makers supports 1 electronic circuit maker. Okay, so our ratio simply needs to be 1 is 50% more than the other. So we can do 10 and 15 and that would supply themselves. So let's do 10 and 15. That might stress the living goodness. I mean, that'll almost certainly stress the living goodness out of our copper, but that's a good excuse for us to ramp up our copper like we wanted to anyways. I'm going to assume that I put these assembling machine 2s in boxes, so I'm going to make a request for 20 of those as well. I did not, but I do have them crafted, so it should be as simple as slamming down a box on them, hopefully. Yep. Excellent. So, we need 10 assembling machine 2s for copper, and then 15 of them for green circuits. I may... You know what? I lied, I am ripping this down. With how much we're making, we're going to be able to support a lot of things dramatically better. The big issue is going to be remembering where everything is, basically. But this is going to drive me heckin' bananas, just having like 3 or 4 different mediocre green circuit crafters. Like, it was fine for a while, it just doesn't feel fine now. This was the one for electric furnaces over here, so I'm gonna just leave this as is, and hopefully I'll remember it. Okay, so we're gonna use the 10 and 15 just because that makes more sense to me. I mean, actually, how does that work going into our other ratio? I forgot what we decided before. So this is 6 seconds, which means one of these makes 2 electronic circuits per second. So one of these supports 6 advanced circuit makers. But we also need green circuits on their own. So I'm gonna do 10, 15, 15 maybe? Because we do need these pretty equally, and that'll put a nice throughput of that. So I'm gonna do 10, 15, 15 and see how that goes. That should be perfect, barring throughputs of belts and other things, but that should be a nice start. It'll be a lot of fuel for the base. And if it turns out good enough, I'm going to roll with that and turn it into... Oh, we have a bunch of science I want to drop off really quick. I'm going to roll with that and then just fix it into our base even more. This also just might be way too much. This is... I often don't do this level of automation on my own when I play this game, because I'm always playing with other people that are a lot better than me at this kind of thing. So I might be biting off more than I can chew. If that is the case, so be it. We will try to adjust. But this will lead us into another science, which is going to get us a lot of good things. Trust me. Okay, so... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are going to be copper cable makers, which is just simply copper plate to copper cable. The issue is that in my head I struggle to quantify if even a copper belt with no gubbins taken from it is sufficient in accomplishing this. Wow, my oil is in not the most convenient spot for my main bus. We're like backed up on this anyways, so I'm gonna just like cut down the cracking a little bit. Okay, so these will be copper cables. Next will be green circuits, which are iron plate and copper cable. So simply adding iron plate into the mix should be sufficient for this. So we'll have it feed directly in? Did we establish that these are 1-to-1? No, this should be 15. So we need these to go on a belt and then be fed. Wait, this should be technically fine to feed 1-to-1? I don't know. So yeah, if this is 10 to 15, it definitely needs to be on a belt. I'm being silly. Being a heckin' silly goob, as it were. I don't know if I'd call myself the silliest of goobs, but it's certainly up there. Now, we need iron to also be fed in here. I'm gonna move this. Sorry, robots. Here, you know what? Just for you, I put a high quality one here. It's because I feel a little bit bad about taking all your juice. Okay, so we also need iron to come through here. Thinking about doing double grabbies because of how heckin' long it takes these to craft. It should be basically fine to do everywhere. We have that pipe in the way. Or how quickly these craft is probably a more apt way to say what I'm trying to say. How, in goodness' name, am I going to give these power without substations? That is a question I have not tussled with yet. Ooh. So I have a quite decent answer. Assuming these can place onto these, which I believe they can. I know they can take from them. I'm assuming they can place onto them as well. And this should be sufficient. Oh, look how quickly they come through. That's actually quite satisfying. Although, we're seeing limitations already. And that's that these machines literally cannot drop off because of the speed they take. This will be fixed with better belts, I hope. However, that belt saturated really, really nicely. Going to grab some iron. We're going to cut it pretty low, though. It does always worry me when I have something like this so far into the base, because it means it needs to go through everything else first. Which means everything else gets dibs on the iron first. Which is rectified by having faster belts and a lot of miners and throughput and whatnot. We kind of lack that right now. Did I really set that up in the one position where it doesn't work? You know what? I'm sucking it up. This is such a dramatically easier fix. And jumping through all the hoops I was jumping through. Okay. Should also probably have those belts going the proper way. So these will be green circuits, which we can assign now. Whoa, look at all the hands. Okay, so now we have a boatload of green circuits. And so these green circuits do one-to-one the red circuits. We also need green circuits afterwards. We also need copper cables, which is a whole other beast, but I don't know. I guess I should make more copper cables. These craft really slowly though. So these need 4 copper cables over 6 seconds. Where copper cables are like, I don't know, 4 per second. Yeah. So one of the copper cable makers supports 6 advanced circuit makers. You know what? With that logic in mind, I'm gonna just attach 2 more cable makers here. It's not particularly difficult to. I cannot see a good justifiable reason to not do so. So the issue is, we have all of these great green circuits, but I don't want to run out of green circuits because we need them separately. So I think we'll do 10, or I guess 12, 15, 10 of the red circuits. We definitely want to put green circuits on belts, because we want to have the green circuits who use other things instead of just being loaded into a machine normally. So we will set up putting them onto belts. You know what? Sulfuric acid, you've had it too good for too long. Are you kidding me? It's right on the line now. Me and sulfuric acid are having a rough go with things right now, but I think we can work things out with a little bit of couples therapy and ripping a few fat packs. Okay. Hopefully that's enough space. I can move it even more. The sulfuric acid doesn't have to go the way it's going. Also, this blue circuit maker is, like, going to be replaced pretty soon anyways. So we might just need the sulfuric acid here if we set up our blue circuits here as well, which I don't know if we will. But for the moment, we're going to put green circuits on belts. We'll have it follow a similar pattern to what we did before. Great. They have everything they need to be made, so those are done. So with the green circuits done, we need to look at the red circuits. And honestly, while we're here, I might just set up the blue circuits too. But at this point, I feel like we need to make this much bigger, and this is not nearly enough circuits. So I'm a little reluctant, but we'll have to see. I feel like I should have scaled this twice or 3 times as big. Maybe twice as big would have been sufficient. Regardless. Oh yeah, blue circuits are dramatically more heavy on the green circuit front as well. Although they're really easy to make. They just need sulfuric acid, basically, at that point. So, you know, I think I will set them up. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the 10 I wanted initially. And then I'm going to... 10 of these will be... I keep losing myself in the sauce. We make 2 electronic circuits per second per machine. So we're making 30 per second right now. 10 of these machines will require 0.3 electronic circuits per second. Each machine does. Let's just multiply this up. 10 machines will take 20 electronic circuits per minute. We're making dramatically more than that. Yeah, we'll just do 10. Heck it, I'm freeballing at this point. I shouldn't do that. We need copper cables and electronic circuits. I think we'll tap into these copper cables, since we did make the extra ones here, with the deliberate intent of doing this exact thing. And what we're going to do here is underground our 120 SPM base. This is like a 10 SPM base on a good day right now. What we're going to do here is, I don't know how I want the green circuits to come off here. I guess I could just grab them normally. I don't really want to do the double red and blue setup though. Again, though it might just be for the best, because we need to still put the plastic on the belt as well. But this is going to take dramatically less, just because of how long it takes to craft it. It might not be as big of an issue if we double up the belt. I don't know how I want to do it. I could also just have this only go on the one side. No, I want the green circuits to go on. I'm going to turn these on so I can see what this looks like so I can decide better. I hate where my electrical poles are. I really should have set up for beacons. Okay, so we're making Mondo green. Oh, look at it. It's beautiful. However, we can see the consequences of these red belts coming in real hot right now. Yeah, so we need to set up purple science like yesterday. I just keep putting it off. I can't be helped. I'm a fiend. Alright, so I'm going to... No! Don't... I mean, actually, it doesn't do anything. That just feeds it back to me. You know what? Fine. You can have your carousel while I'm figuring stuff out. You dirty sushi belt fiends. I want the science to come off here. And I want to work on these red circuits. I buffered all my science 2k buffers. You're prepared. My science is just in sad shape right now, and it needs desperate improvements. I mean, plastic bars, copper cable. We need twice as many plastic bars as copper cables, or vice versa. So I could put these... Yeah, I should put the circuits and the plastic bars in the same line, and the copper cables on its own line. Okay, okay, okay. That makes sense. So we are going to actually do something similar. I was wrong. I admit my mistake, but we do need our plastic, which I think we need to ramp up our plastic production too. Although currently we're like super locked behind petroleum, so that might not be an issue. We have 2 plastic makers. Yeah, that might call for an improvement, but that's okay. We're looking at stuff we haven't looked at for a while. Let's pull the plastic out here, I think. We want to put the plastic and the green science on the same belt. How do I want to do this? Oh, I kind of love how that looks though. Maybe I just like quit here and let the green circuits be green circuits. Oh. So the issue is I'm going to want green circuits. Oh no, this is actually super easy. No, well, it's slightly inconvenient, but super easy. Still pretty easy if you think about it. Probably easier if I slept more last night. But this should be fine. This is fine. So then we just rip this across here. This makes the science go where I want it to go. I'll even make it more compacted for my own sanity because this is already taking a lot more space than I was planning on when I set this up initially. And now we should be able to set up a red science here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to certainly do 20 labs fed. I set up these a little bit ago. We had 8 running before, now we're up to 16. I think even that's going to be tough to meet the demand of. We really need those better belts. At least when the belt's back up, it's not as bad. They're looking really satisfying though. Dang it, I'm going to do the exact same thing I did before. Except for I don't need to worry about the power pole. Oh right, we also don't want nearly this many. We only wanted like... I don't remember how many I said. Did I say 5? 5 feels so low though. No, I think we said 10. Okay, so... that lined up, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those aren't gonna be able to get power. I can get them power. Just in a very jank way if I want to. Oh, that's gonna be kind of ugly. That's fine. Man, I just need to get... How far away are substations? I have them. I heckin' have substations. I was working under the expectation that I didn't. Oh my god, I have substations. Oh, I would have made this completely different. Ah, it's fine. No big deal. At least we know we have substations now, because it's going to save us a little bit of headache. I could have sworn substations were, like, way further into the game. I guess I haven't played too many playthroughs, but, like, dang. That's very nice. Saves us the trouble that we were going through. I heckin' love substations. Man, I would have remade the furnaces with substations if I knew too. No, don't stop making electronic circuits. I know I told you were an electronic circuit maker, but your reality is much darker than that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want 2 more of these. 9, 10. These substations are also going to be a little bit awkward, so I think we're going to just make the blue science over here. I know I said we weren't going to make blue science in the first place, because what we really wanted was red science on belts, but I lied to you, and I'm sorry about that. I realize now that we should at least set up blue science to buffer, or not blue science. We should set up blue circuits to buffer. These craft so slow. I know it's 6 seconds a pop. Maybe I will make 10 of these instead. I really didn't take in the 6 seconds a piece seriously enough, I think. You know what we're going to do? Oh yeah, we're drowning in green circuits, in fact. We're going to just ramp up our production, because this is awful. Heck nature, get rid of that stuff, please. Man, I was like running these numbers in my head and I was like, I got a pretty good grasp on like what we need to do. We're going to put the substations directly in the belts because already so far in the sauce that there's no real reason to not do this. It will save us some space in what I wanted to do. And then I'm going to copy this. I'm going to flip it horizontally. I'm going to align it. We are going to place it. I'll manually do these because I don't want to have a substation. I guess the substation probably wouldn't have placed because it would have overlapped. I don't know if these copper cables are really going to be able to sustain this much. I think I'm overdoing it on the copper cables now. I think I've officially, like, lost the plot. Which is very unfortunate. But also, like, half the fun. So is it really that unfortunate? Now we have way more red circuit makers than green. Which was the opposite of what I said I was planning on, but with the craft times, it makes sense to have way more. I was just worried we'd run out of green, but we also haven't put the green back into the system where it needs to go yet, which isn't really many places now. It's just over here. Maybe I should just main bus the green as well. I hadn't even considered that. I'm going to split the green here, because I might change my mind on what to do with it. Because for now, all the green needs to do is output priority green, and then it'll feed back into the makers I had over here. But again, that's like... that's the wrong output priority. Okay. I don't know how this pole got here. It must have been me. Wow, no, it was right before. Stop! My circuits, no. Heck. Output priority left, filter green circuits, boom, boom. Tell me I'm wrong. Okay, now we can do this, and then that feeds back in. Now, sad. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off altogether. So this is going to be just for blue science. Because our blue science is already struggling, so having its own little dedicated thing that's cut off from the rest of this monstrosity I'm making sounds like a really good idea. Okay, so... Oh, I ran out of... I was like, what the heck? Why are these ephemeral inserters haunting me? Why are they all ghost-looking? Oh, because you didn't have any. Because you didn't set up long-handed inserters, even though you said you should have done it, like, 20 hours ago or so of gameplay. And now you're suffering from the consequences of your actions. Funny how that works. Does explain why they were as slow as they were. I don't even have an inserter here. I'm floundering. Alright. I'm a little concerned with our consumption currently. I'm more than a little concerned. But... you know, that's a future us problem. Let's just set up a rudimentary processing unit setup to start with. Just so we have some, because we can just handcraft stuff and fix it later. I'm getting real heckin' lost in the sauce right now, though. To a perhaps alarming degree. If I want to put these on a single belt, it really doesn't matter if I do. It takes so long to craft these to my memory. Yeah, they're... oh, they're only 10 seconds. I saw 54, I was like, holy cow. I'm gonna set up... I forgot to align these, that would have been real awkward. I'll set up 10 of them. We will need to get the liquid up, which means I'm also going to just turn this off. So now that this line is like only exists to do science modules and bots, which is not like a crazy amount of stuff. I still feel like our production on them is kind of like ultra bunts, which is not great. Certainly leaves a lot to be desired. Probably gonna have to handcraft more red, so I'm gonna just pregame those now. And we will have the outputs here, and we'll just have the sulfuric acid go like a little bit further away. Remember that sulfuric acid I was complaining about before? This is it now. Careful who you bully in high school. I don't know what's going through my head today. I'm tired. Genuinely the big heckin' EPGP RN. Setting it up like this gives us the luxury of space. should be the sulfuric acid going into them, which means we can take blue circuits down the belt. Honestly, maybe I'll just do a few more substations again. I need to set up substation automation, because these things are just so heckin' nice. Alrighty, we have blue circuits, we have green circuits, we have red circuits, we have a lot of circuits going. The issues I see now is everything. This is awful. I hate what I've done. I hate what I've become. Kind of bars as well, I'll admit, but this is such a scuffed design. But it does get our units off the ground to start. I'm going to set up a buffer for 200 of these, just in case we want to try to make something quality or whatever. Unfortunately, we are suffering from the green circuits struggling to make it to the end. Which isn't too unexpected. We're certainly crafting... Yeah, it's just a belt thing right now, because we're crafting these, and these are just sitting here not doing anything. We're also going to need to scale for iron, because holy, look at our iron. Or not iron, copper, jeez. Our iron looks great. As I expected, though, I had this piddly little one. I said this would be the excuse to scale it up, and wouldn't you know it is the excuse, so I'm going to just copy our irons design. And then move it somewhere else. And somewhere else is going to be right here. And I know, Miko, wait, you said you should totally make space for beacons. You're right. That's such a valid point of view. Gosh, see, this is why we keep you around, because I'm like the... I do the micro, you do the macro. I think I just picked up a bunch of bots accidentally while they were trying to be good noodles. This is adjacent, right? Yeah. Oh, that was a load-bearing pole, huh? Turned off the whole base? You don't say. Wait, what's... something funky here. Oh, I figured out what the funky thing is. It's not that big of a deal. I just put down a bunch of things for no reason, which is a little bit un-Fortnite. Okay, so these are outputting through here, so I should be able to... Yeah, okay. Ore goes in here. Copper comes out there. Great. Love it. Can't get enough of it. This looks right. This is totally right. Oh, that was another load-bearing pole. I'm glad to know that our base exists on, like, 2 large power poles randomly in the middle of where all the train stations are. That's good. It's that ingenuity that we know and love. Okay. We may also need to set up another copper mine. Is my inventory full? It's a little full. Holy cow, I got a lot of garbage on me. We have another copper mine around, I don't remember. Oh my god, we have like no copper in our walls. We have the 4 million and then the 800k over there. Oh right, I remember looking at the 8.2 million one thinking we'd set up a little defensive outpost there. Might be time to start looking at that soon. Why did all the copper end up, like, just out of reach? No big deal. We can tap into that one if we need a little bit more, but I don't think it's worth it. It's so small. No chance any of these are load-bearing poles. You're kidding me. Really? These small ones? What the heck's wrong with the power? There's no chance. I mean, I'm living it right now, but I'm just very surprised. There are so many, like, really important poles that are, like, not really intimidating or have that aura of this pole's gonna turn off your base. But it totally does, and I love that for that pole. That's actually so dumb. I had several power stations in a metric F power pole that never failed to destroy have any power outages. Somehow eradicate life on Gleba? Dude, good. Heck Gleba life. I don't know how the heck you managed to eradicate life there, but those guys do not mess around. Heck, okay. So let us feed this back in to our new handy dandy copper stack. Very fancy, very nice. We only have 2 inputs here. Maybe we should do it one more time. You know what? Let's do it one more time. For you, Mario, I'll do the Mario. The Mario? It is the Mario, right? The dance, yeah. For you, I'll do the Mario one more time. I should play Bashi again. You know, if you think about it, every pull is a load-bearing pull. You believe hard enough. Or you make your base like I make mine. Those are the 2 caveats. I was not planning on scaling copper to this extent this quickly. But I figure when in Rome, you know? We actually ran out of furnaces? That surprises me. Not too... Did I ever hook up the furnace maker again? Aw, oh, nuts. I knew I forgot something. I was like, oh yeah, this furnace maker, it's not that important. We just plug it in whenever. I'm sure I'll remember. This one janky furnace maker. 07 to the furnaces, though. Oh, heckin' 7. I'm gonna just, like, quick and dirty this without really making it look nice. As it were, furnaces are kind of important. They're not quite load-bearing power pole important, but they're up there. A buttload of heavily armed spiders. Oh, I want Spidertrons. I did a randomizer archipelago run of Factorio somewhat recently. And that was the only time I've actually gotten Spidertrons in a game before. And they were so heckin' cool to have. Okay. My bots are straight chilling now. We plugged that back in. Unfortunately, we don't have the copper plugged into the base at all right now. So I am going to try to plug in some of the copper. That is way too low of a belt. Might have to move that iron belt up a little bit too. Either way, let's at least get something plugged in. We can fix this after. That's what that belt's doing, I see. Okay. So now we have some copper in the system. Let us put copper ore back in as well. Because that's another kind of core problem, as it turns out. So if you don't have ore, you can't really make ingots. I don't know why that's the case, but that's the rules, and I've been following them for a while now, and I think that I'm a little comfortable with them. Is the other one that... No, that's an output. That's an input. About to line it up really incorrectly. Oh wow, cancer, copper ore, real original. You got any new stuff to say to me? Because I'm tired of hearing that. There's just copper on the floor everywhere. Oh god. It's gonna be a mess forever. What's the other inputs? Uh-oh. Something's really wrong with this belt. No, it's not this belt. It's just this that I placed myself. Okay, okay. Nothing is wrong. I've been playing very slowly over the past few years. I've been playing a Death World playthrough with my roommates. A Marathon Death World. And artillery is like an absolute lifesaver. I never really had to use it too much before, but it heckin' helps a great deal in that playthrough. But that playthrough's been so slow. Like, we're both pretty busy, so we don't find too much time to play, and when we do, it's just like slogs. How is it that that pole is not load-bearing and has no... Oh no, it actually destroys that. Okay. Because I'm shocked that that pole doesn't do anything. But every other pole did. No, that pole does do something. It's just slightly out of vision. It does something. The stealth pole. Alright, how much of the base is turned off? What is flashing up here? There's a red grabby hand that isn't working. However, we now have some modicum of copper going back in the system at least, which means we should be, theoretically at least, making... I need to move this upwards, it's driving me crazy. We should be making some more furnaces, which should make everything work out. Having the bots do it so I don't have to pick it up, really. My poor inventory can't take another one of these. Did that turn off the base? It did, in fact. Wouldn't you know it to be true? Really playing on the edge in this very specific locale. Alright, this gives me 3 lanes of stuff without stressing, though. I changed my mind. I don't want that one to go at the top. It won't look as good. Okay. This one goes at the top. Load bearing pole destroyed. Replaced. Bam. Love it. Can't get enough of it. Now. What am I doing? This is such an excess of undergrounds, but I kind of like how it looks. But this is really overkill. But no one will know that this is a belt of half copper. And now, boom, we got our 3rd copper belt. Oh, love it. Now that's slightly higher than I want it to be. Feeling like I'm living in a society today. Perfect, and then this one goes right here, and we got our 3 belts. Which, for now, is feeding into, like, a single, very simple system, which only has 1 input. I just place a bunch of splitters and hope that fixes my problem. Our belts are looking very saturated, at least. I'm guessing everything up there turned off, but we'll see. No, everything is still on, in fact. We've made so few blue circuits. This has made one product. This one made 43 at least. Oh, we were completely out of copper cables. See, the copper cables aren't even getting through here anymore because we didn't back up on green circuits because everything was off for so long. We need better belts already. What was I doing all this for again? Ah, right, purple science, because I wanted red circuits. Wow, that was... It was a lot of sauce. I'm not even happy with the output. We need dramatically more copper cables. That's what I've decided. I think that my original goals and aspirations were dramatically short-sighted. And I need to accept the fact that the factory must grow and there is no exception to this rule. I also need to set up modules and stuff, but this will make it so it's much easier to make modules. Maybe we'll go for some quality too. Oh, inventory's full. Wow, it really is full. I picked up a bunch of bots, that's what happened. At least that's part of what happened. Also, like, motions to factory. Oh, God. I don't remember, like, how does this work? What am I doing? Actually, that looks, like, perfect. Great. I'm glad that this copy and paste works, because, man, my brain was heckin' struggling. And I know adding 5 more of these is not going to fix my problem. But it will mitigate it a little bit. And that's enough for me to be like, this is worth it. I just want to get, like, an improved science so we can have better belts, because a lot of our problems are just going to be fixed by having better belts. At least some of them will be. I don't know if enough of them will be fixed. This one section is, like, half the size of my old starter base area. The extra 5 copper cable makers actually, like, are kind of coming in clutch. Maybe it's because... What do you mean iron plate shortage? I never hooked the iron plates back in. Oh god, that's it. I'm getting breakfast after this. I was already, like, only planning on streaming for like an hour and it's past that. I just couldn't sleep this morning. I think it's a load-bearing pole. It gets me every time, I don't know why. It's not even funny, but it's actually really funny. I know I just said it wasn't funny, but it's really funny. And I was wrong to say it wasn't. My convictions are strong, and that power pole was load-bearing. Okay, so now iron is back in the system again. It was literally load-bearing, so I thought I had set it back up, but apparently I hadn't. Wait, we should have power right now. Everything connects. Really? None of the power? But my... What a spaghetti factory! It goes through my mind. I'm fixing this now. We can't keep removing a power pole and losing everything. What the heck is going on? Alright, now the entire factory is no longer dependent on the train stations being connected to it. We have one more point of connection. You're truly evolved. Oh, look at how nice our belts are looking, though. Much nicer furnace stacks than when we started. Still need to finish some, though, unfortunately. In addition, we need to print out a lot more modules, but I think that the consequence or the result of what we're working on now will result in more modules coming through. We definitely need better belts, though. Alright, I'm gonna fix this more later. Like, we're getting a trickle of things, just not a very satisfying amount. I'm probably just gonna end up scaling the copper and the green circuits up dramatically, and then splitting them off across 2 belts so that the second half of these makers can actually eat something, because I don't think this one's even eaten before. No, I guess it's finished some. Probably after we had a buffer, though, which isn't a quite accurate way. It is kind of nice to watch, though. Once the factory gets kind of started. The issue is that, man, those copper cables never get a chance at life. With so many makers, it's just a throughput issue of the stupid belts. And even then, I think the belts might not be enough. I could have the makers just feed different directions, too, technically. I wonder how viable that would be, to just turn around half my belts and spit them through, like, here. Like, what's the consequence of this? There just shouldn't be one, right? I mean, it's kind of unappealing to look at, I guess. But this does improve my throughput a large amount. Considering these still can't place. Huh. I'm surprised at how efficient this was at improving the throughput, at least a little bit. Like, it's not perfect or anything, but it does work. Our copper's keeping up pretty good, which is a nice treat. Like, there's obviously, like, small gaps here, but other than that, like, the whole belt's looking clean still. Wow, the green circuits are making it all the way out here, but the copper cable still can't quite make it free. I guess I could just make, like, a separate crafter for them for the red circuits. It might just be, though, because if the green circuits can, like, wall here, then theoretically we should get ahead of copper cables enough. I can't believe how much of a difference that made for the green circuits. Maybe I should make little pods of crafters instead. That's actually a really good idea. If I make, like, a little pod that has, like, a perfect ratio of stuff and just print that, like, 9 times, why have I never done that before? I guess because I like looking at them in long belts like this, but the little pods would work really well. Yeah, look at that, though. Our circuits are starting to saturate now. It took them quite a while, which means that copper cables should be getting through to red circuits. Red circuits do have a long craft time, so I'm not going to pretend that there's a high possibility that it's going to... it's not going to reach the end of the line, almost certainly. But it is nice to see at least some of them making it through regardless. And there they go. I think what I'm going to do to start is I'm going to output priority the other one. Just so we can keep making furnaces more efficaciously instead of making like blue circuits that we're not using right now. Once it backs up, it'll give into the blue circuits. I cannot believe it. Look at how far the copper cables made it. am dumbfounded. I thought that there was no chance these copper cables were ever making it past. I guess our circuit consumption is just low enough that once this massive belt saturated, we were good. Well, okay, never mind then. Everything is awesome. There is the downside potentially of these eating a lot of blue or red circuits and making it bad, but this is great. Look at, we're actually making red circuits. I'm shocked that this is working. Because I kind of just threw ratios to the wayside at one point and started getting wacky with my belts. But great, we'll take it. Maybe it'll stop working a little bit, but that's fine. I need to make some more red thingies. Actually, let's just make a red thingy maker because like I've been handcrafting them for a while now. Where's our blue thingies? Our blue thingies are here. I think they're made like basically identically to blue thingies. They're dramatically easier than blue thingies. So it's an inserter, iron plate, iron gear wheel. Well, would you look at that? We have an inserter right here, we have an iron plate right here, and an iron gear wheel right here. The downside is that these inserters... There's no real downside. We're gonna just do a little bit of professional belt weaving. No, it'll be easier to... What the heck are we making here? Assemblers? Do these only feed into assemblers? Okay, I'm gonna just remove one of these. This is not necessary. It'll make it a lot easier for me. Because now, I can retrofit that. My inventory is so gnarly. Actually, I could have just left it and changed its formula at this point. Retrofit this into the red maker. With the caveat of adding this here. Output priority, right. Yellow hands. There we go. This should be more than sufficient. How many of these do I have buffered? 4? We'll do 4 for this as well then. Just the basic stuff where if we tell the boss to go do something, they'll do it. Copper is looking fine. Our belts are looking really saturated. I think the biggest issue right now is not having the really fancy ones. Wow, our steel and our iron are just not doing anything. Wait, what the heck? Okay, that is peculiar. I see an issue that I didn't think about before, but it looks like one of the 3 copper lines, or iron lines, excuse me, doesn't quite kick out as fast as the other ones, which should be pretty easy to fix. Because the train's just sitting there, and we have another train like ready to go. In case that's going to be an issue here as well, I'm going to pregame this problem. I don't know which one it'll be either. I'm going to just set up like this so that if this problem arises, they should just sort themselves out to an extent. Actually, now I want to make it look nicer. No, my inventory's full of copper. Oh, my inventory's so gross! Load-bearing pole. How could you do this to me? We were supposed to... That was crazy. They just tried to put a large electric pole down onto a belt like no one would notice. And I noticed. I don't know where this came from. You can go here. But we do not need all these raw materials on us. Thankfully, the ore is flowing again. Our belts are looking a lot happier from that as well. Guessing the train... Yeah, okay, the trains have cycled through. Great! Alright, fantastic. Where does this iron go? Oh, this must go to the power plant. That's a problem legally, but I don't really have a good solution for you. I think once we get Kovarex enrichment, that's not going to be a problem as much. So I am just going to create a buffer and pretend it's not a problem. Because that's kind of like my solution to this right now. But once we have Kovarex and stuff, we can start making like uranium ammo and stuff more efficiently. And just kind of like get rid of the gooby stuff. Alright, so now our belts look like they're fixed. I think I've fixed everything. I hope I didn't forget anything. Our red belts are looking a lot healthier than they were a moment ago as well. We're remaking our furnaces. And would you look at that? It's even getting enough... Go over to there. Wait, our copper circuits or our copper wire is messed up again. I guess because this takes 20 electronic circuits? Does it take 20? I thought it took 20. It does, but the output's full, so it's not loading more. Okay. So those will stop at some point, at least. I think I'm going to make a separate thing of copper wire and just have it feed directly into these devices. It's going to strain the living heck out of our copper, though. But we're not really straining it at all right now, so it'll be fine. So that's going to be the plan for next time. I'm going to save up here, though, and go eat something. I'm starving. Thanks for hanging around, though. It was fun. Hopefully you enjoyed watching, chatting, catching it live, catching the VOD whatevs. Either way, have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.